Hello, lovely ones. I hope you're doing well after this huge lion portal. And it was a full-on week, I think, for many. There was a lot of cleaning out, a lot of realization, and a lot of deeper awakening. And I wanted to share my own journey and the importance of being by yourself and taking yourself away from your regular routines and environment to gain different perspectives. So, out of different challenges I experienced in my life, I was also guided by my mentor to take myself into the mountains by myself for a few days. First, I felt a deep resistance within myself because my ego went back to an old pattern of rather being, sad and kind of desperate and not knowing what to do. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do this again because I know better. And this part that is still attached to this kind of pattern really has to start to heal and integrate. So I took myself away to the mountains and I booked myself into a hotel where I had some opportunity, which I'm very grateful for taking some massages. I was being able to do some sauna, and I did 3 beautiful hikes in the mountains. And I took my time in the nature to meditate, to talk to nature, to connect to myself, to earth, to the guidance and universe. And I asked for a different perspective, and I asked for support to heal and understand different aspects of myself and different rounds of myself that replayed in different situations within my life. And I felt almost in these 3 days, I was almost becoming it felt like I really grounded back into my own energy. I felt I'm going through some sort of rebirth, and most of all, I started to feel that deep trust again, that everything is going to unfold the way it needs to, that we co-create whatever we need in order for us to awake to that we are, to this love energy, to the source energy that we are, and these magnificent beings that we always have been but we have forgotten about, and patterns and programs disturb that kind of flow that we usually naturally would have in this earthly experience. And of course we need these sort of awakenings in order for us to get conscious about ourselves, right? So we all fall into a deep sleep in order for us to awaken, to regain to gain consciousness about ourselves. And what was really interesting for me was that I really cut social media. I just concentrated on myself, and I listened to a lot of podcasts, and there was a lot of podcasts about self-love and how important it is to love yourself, that whatever happens in your relationships, in your life, in your own talk to yourself, where you maybe talk not always nice to yourself, that it's about honoring that and not judging yourself for doing that, but just to be like, I hear you, I love you, I really learned to love this part too, and it's okay now to not judge myself anymore. I need to love more, I need to love myself more. And even to say to yourself when you don't know how to love yourself, to say to your little child that maybe is still wounded, to say, I don't know at this moment how to love yourself, but I'm learning and really love yourself. Or I love you. I don't know how to love you when you talk to your child, but I'm learning to love you, and I love you, because that's already transforming the energy that you feel at this moment in time. And I started to also pray for miracles, to really start to build trust that the universe can bring miracles to you when you are really in your heart, when you live in your truth, when you are seeing and have the courage to see through the illusion of your program and your mind. And I have to say, in these 3 days, miracle things did happen. And also in the environment, people always all of a sudden wrote me that I didn't hear from them anymore, and I wasn't online or anything like this. I was like, wow, this is really when you start to attract what people say, the law of attraction, when you start to honor yourself, your energy, your power, but also your wounds. And why I'm sharing all that is because this is such a time where there's so much confusion everywhere. A lot of confusion, a lot of distraction, a lot of breakdowns. And first of all, just to be away from from any newspapers, it was super healing. It really helped me to focus the energy on myself and my journey and my love, where when you are in your love, when you are coming back to your heart, you're supporting the whole all of Earth and universe, right? You are the mission in the end. You are the mission. It's not that you have to do anything. You are the mission. And when you're once back in your love, that's what you can share with the world in whatever way that you decide. And so the importance of switching off and also taking yourself out of the usual routine and environment, because as long as we're in a routine, we are like, our antennas are zoomed out into these kind of people or, living places or whatsoever. If we take ourselves out into a complete different environment, doing things that we usually wouldn't do, it helps us to get us back into ourselves and to tune out of all that which is not needed at this time, in order for you to re-find yourself. That's how it felt for me. I almost felt I re-found myself, and to also be able to gain a different clarity on different scenarios that were occurring in my life, and of course about myself most of all, because finally I am the cause of what's happening around me, right? It's just a reflection of my own energy and my own wounds and programs that I relive from the past, for example. So I encourage you, if you feel that you are in challenging situations, if you somehow have the opportunity, even if it's just one day, take yourself out, do something that you usually don't do, even if it takes a little bit of courage. I could feel my ego was first, no, I'm not going to do this because, I want to stay suffering. Because that's normal. It's a chat, right? It's the ego doesn't like to change, doesn't like to change the program. So force yourself to take yourself out and do something that you usually don't do, and just really listen to yourself, listen to the universe, listen to nature, listen to your guidance. Everything speaks to you. Everything speaks to you in your outside, because it's all a reflection of you and your different parts, trying to help you remember who you truly are and your unconditional love. And that's the best scenario we would live that as humans, which of course is challenging, and it's probably a life journey to love ourselves, to learn to love ourselves fully, and to be in an unconditional relationships to the environment. Not just to people, but in general to the environment. I will do more videos about that specifically, because I had 3 days of such a big and profound teachings and life-changing experiences for myself that I feel it's important to share, especially at this time. So this is just a video to tell you a little bit about my own journey, what I have been through in this huge portal of the Lion's Gate, where I think a lot of, especially starseeds and light workers, had really huge activations and clearing out of what is not serving you anymore, for you to really become you again. And just to inspire you to take yourself out into nature, into a different environment if you can, for a few days, or even if it's just for one day, to gain perspective from where you're at, gain perspective and gain a different understanding of your situations that you're in, but also about yourself. It is so helpful, because we only gain in clarity in silence and in our own energy, and when we have the courage to be with our own, sometimes pain and sadness and anger, and that which calls for attention to be healed and loved more. So that's my sharing for today, and you will hear more soon about that journey that I went through and the different themes that I was, for me, getting more clarity and understanding. And I send you lots and lots of love wherever you're at, and lots of courage and lots of support and clarity and lots of understanding and compassion for yourself, and the courage to love yourself more. So I send you so much love. Bye.